We are live.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, not only here on the beach, for those of you folks that are listening in on the live stream, we'd like to welcome everybody out to the Short Block Technologies East Coast Watercross Winter Series. This is round number 3. We're getting set to go here with moto number 2 of race number 1. 12 motos for y'all this weekend. I'd like to say a very special thanks to not only CJ and all the fine folks over at SBT, but Gary and LM Marine, Liquid Molly, another one of our presenting sponsors this weekend. Again, this is the precursor to what's happening next weekend when we start the Pro Watercross Tour. We're going to be in Orange, Texas. We invite everybody to come out to Orange, Texas, where everything is big out there, including their racing. So please make sure that you make your way out there. But right now, it's round number 3 of the SBT ECW Winter Series. And again, down online, we've got the Pro-Am Runabout 1100 class combined with our Sport GP class. Boogity, boogity, boogity. It's Saturday. Time to go racing, folks. Once again, glad everybody could join us that are listening in from around the world. My name is Mike Young. I'm going to be your host. Facebook me if you got any messages around the world. And we'll try to come up with some answers for you. Once again, boat number 110, Tori Snyder out of Bradenton, Florida. Sponsored by Snyder-Built Monster Energy Jet Trim and Jet Pilot. Be the only Sport GP rider out there. He's going to be pitted up against the Pro-Am Runabout 1100 Open Class. Troy Morgan, Craig Squire, and Scott Bowery. Alrighty, so once again, looks like Scott Barrowy, the birthday boy, your early leader on the Team Dean Sea-Doo on the inside split. And that's Snyder on the outside with that Sport GP boat. And here comes Barrowy, and look at this sport boat. Side by side, rail to rail, as they head on to the split track on the left-hand side of the course. For those of you folks that are listening in at home, we got a split track on the right side after the start, and a split track on the left side. Got a right-handed course. Current temperature, I believe it's 78 degrees right now, with winds out of the southwest at about 2 knots.
Thank you. We got 2 transponders functioning all on our own out there.
All right, I like it. I like it. I love it. We've got 2 transponders out there. They're working on their own out there, so that's it's nice to hear. We're running through some tests. Tori Snyder once again on the inside. And here comes Barrowy. Snyder getting on the sport boat, takes a look over at Barrowy. Barrowy tries to pull up beside him. Snyder says, nothing doing. I'm going to go to the outside split, left-hand side of the track. Forces Barrowy, the birthday boy, to the inside. Again, Barrowy on that Team Dean's boat. I believe that's the old boat that Chris Mays used to race back in the day. For those of you old schoolers that might be listening in or watching from the beach here at Lake Alfred Lions Park. Absolutely beautiful day here. They were calling for a little bit of rain, but we're all doing the rain dance during the lunch break, and it is held off so far. Hopefully, Mother Nature will hold off until later this evening. Make a big muddy track for Supercross. There you go. You're going to it? Yeah, right on. Yeah, Supercross just about 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away over at the Daytona Speedway. Meanwhile, we got our own speedway here on Lake Alfred, and ruling that speedway right now is Tori Snyder, again sponsored by Snyder-Built, as well as Monster Energy, Jet Trim, and Jet Pilot. Again, if you miss a buoy, if you take a look at the course, if you're here with us, on the right-hand side, there's a red buoy that's about 100 yards off the right-hand side of the track. And I was told you really don't want to miss a buoy today. Meanwhile, we got a rider down on the inside split, left-hand side of the track. And it looks like Course Marshal Randy coming over to assist. Not sure, but I believe that is Troy Morgan, possibly, that gets off the boat over here. Meanwhile, back to the right-hand side of the track and down the front straightaway, there is your leader, Snyder. Snyder kicking the tires and lighting the fires down the front straightaway. Scott Barrowy leading in the program runabout 1100 classes. This is a combined class. Race number 2, we're going to need you down to the starting line. Once again, race number 2, we're going to need you down to the starting line. That's our junior ski, 10 to 15 years of age, the 10 to 12 class and the 13 to 15 class. We need you down to the starting line. Once again, another beautiful day here in Lake Alfred, just like it was here last Saturday. Last Saturday, it was actually a little hotter last Saturday. And it went down to crazy temperatures during the week here in Central Florida. And now we're back on top again, but back up in the high 70s. Yellow flag still out, rider still down over here on the left-hand side of the track. Snyder sees the rider down and opts to go to that outside split. Again, that rider's down on the inside split. You can see course marshal Randy just directing him. Directing all the riders to the outside split. Meanwhile, rider on the inside trying to get rebooted right there. Once again, just a reminder also to those of you folks that are here live with us today, don't forget we've here at the Lions Club Landing. They got burgers, dogs, French fries, onion rings, tater tots, all kinds of good stuff. So feed the need over here and support the Lions Club, which has supported the ECW Winter Series, brought to you by SBT and Liquid Molly, here for the last 9 days. Snyder extending that lead as he works his way down the back straightaway. Barrowy just getting ready to enter the split here, bottom left-hand side of the track, and he's going to opt to go to the outside as we are still cleaning up the yard sale on the inside split.
We are also checking.
By the way, every class, as soon as you're done with your moto, go and see Steve Hotchkiss over at the launch ramp. Once again, they are teching boats at the launch ramp. Everybody must go to tech. Once again, everybody must go to tech. So if you've got a rider that's out there in the water right now, please convey the message to go see Steve over at the launch ramp immediately following your moto, or you will be disqualified. We don't want to see anybody get disqualified. We want to see everybody make it through tech. Yeah, unfortunately, that's boat number 7, Troy Morgan from Leesburg, Virginia, coming in on the gaff. Again, just as a reminder, every boat must go to tech. Every boat must go to tech. So as soon as you're done with your race, go immediately to the launch pad. And then you can go back to your pit area and congratulate each other on being masters of the universe. White flag is out. Less than a lap to go for Tori Snyder on the Snyder-built Monster Energy C2HX. And you can see Snyder on that GP HX just wasting the 1100s, because that's a fast 1100 that Scott Barrowy's on, boat number 11 there, the red, white, and blue Sea-Doo. Old Dean Mays boat, Team Deans. For those of you who've been in the industry long enough, you know that we have a Team Deans and we have a Deans team. Dean from right here in Orlando. And there comes the checkered flag, Tori Snyder. Was hoping to get a piece of Massimo Casarini, who was here last weekend. And unfortunately, Massimo not showing up with that GP that they brought up from Brazil with the BR1 on it. So again, coming up next, we've got our junior class, the 10 to 12-year-old class, and the 13 to 15-year-old class. All righty, so representing the junior 10 to 12-year-olds out there, down on line, boat number 33 out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, sponsored by TC Free Ride, McClure Racing, Chase Plumbing and Mechanical, 6D Helmets, ODI, GoPro, Cardio Systems, Action Sports, and Canopies. That is Cash McClure. Boat number 24, sponsored by One Up Storage and Thunderstruck Racing, Charlie Adams. Boat number 114 out of Naples, Florida, sponsored by Wade Chapin Performance, Judge Motorsports, and Exotic Signs is Braden Dill. Representing the juniors out there in the 13 to 15-year-old division, boat number 23 out of Dania Beach, Florida, sponsored by Spoon Dog Racing, Onium, and Jet Life Miami, Cameron Spooner. Boat number 31 is Bentley Cox. Boat number 125 out of Destin, Florida is Guyver Santucci. 132 from Port St. Lucie, Florida, sponsored by Onium Pro Racing, as well as Farthing Racing, 300 Motorsports, and IPD Graphics, Logan Fleming. Boat number 151 from Piney Flats, Tennessee, is Andy Neal. And 220 out of Mansfield, Ohio, we know her as Mini Stroke, that is Ellie Stevens. Team Reckless Abandonment.
I'm just testing things out, learning, so I've got one-on-one.
Alrighty, looks like we are locked, cocked, and ready to rock and roll. As your director, Kevin, says, time to fire them up. As he takes a look down online. Big shout out to Tara and Maddie, who are hanging out on the flagging stand with Kevin, doing the scoring out there. Actually, this is coming to a point where that's going to be that position's actually not going to be around anymore with the transponders and stuff. The transponders are working really well. Worked really well last weekend. Nice to be able to give lap times, splits, total race times. This race here going to be 7 minutes plus a lap. 7 minutes plus a lap. Alrighty. Riders told to fire their engines back up. Alrighty, there is the horn, and we are off and away. And, I'm hearing through the radio there's a red flag. So we'll let you know who the red flag's on here in just a moment. All right, boat number 31 called for a false start. Bentley Cox called for a jump start, rather. And that is the reason you've seen the red flag out there. 4 reasons which you'll see a red flag this weekend. One is that somebody jumps the start. The second reason is that somebody doesn't hold their lane all the way into the first turn. Third reason is that a buoy comes loose and creates a dangerous situation on the track. And the fourth reason is that somebody is actually hurt out on the track. So we don't want to see those red flags. Either way, when you do see a red flag, you come back to the starting line and await further instruction from your race director. What, I can't watch TV? Am I grounded? Yeah, right? Hold on, 10 to 12 again. Yeah, 10 to 12. All right, you see some kids that are actually starting from inside the tray. That's the 10 to 12-year-old class that you're seeing starting inside the tray. Got to start outside 13 to 15 class. That's a good question. Thank you.
Where it was just me and Scott, really, just like we did last weekend again.
Looking, that's according to the IJSBA rulebook.
5 of us actually battling each other.
Spoon Dog Light on the inside. All right, Spoon Dog Light going to come out in front from the inside. Looks like McClure, your leader from the outside, but it's going to be Fleming who followed Spoon Dog Light on the inside that moves into second. Cash McClure back in third. And right behind McClure, looks like you got boat number 124, Guyver Santucci in the fourth spot as your leaders head on to the back straightaway. Once again, this is race number 2, the junior ski 10 to 12 and junior ski 13 to 15-year-old class. Mini stroke making a pass back by our SBT start-finish line. The Short Block Technologies, once again, support those who support the sport. Nobody does it like Short Block Technologies. Shop_SBT.com. Check out all the newest, latest, and the greatest from CJ and the crew over at SBT. 5:30 left on the clock. Spoon Dog Light in command. Fleming still in second. McClure in third. Still 124. Santucci in fourth. And trying to get a number on fifth place. I believe that's Charlie Adams. Sponsored by One Up Storage and Thunderstruck Racing. Good to see Charlie down here in Florida, winner of the junior class with the AJSA series in the 2025 season. Back out to your leader, top right-hand side of the track. Looks like he's opting to go to the outside. Spoon Dog Light. Mini stroke on that inside split right-hand side of the track right now. And here comes Spooner down the front straightaway, and you can see he's already put a little real estate between he and second place Fleming. Gap about 5 seconds between first and second, only about 2 seconds between second and third. Fleming goes to the inside. And McClure goes to the outside, left-hand side of the track. That's where you'll find your leaders. Just about 4 minutes left on the clock here in race number 2 plus a lap. We need race number 3. Race number 3, that is a Pro-Am Sports Spec Class. Pro-Am Sports Spec Class, we need you to the starting line. Race number 3. Once again, while we have the opportunity, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Short Block Technologies, shopsbt.com. Don't forget, we've got some other great sponsors here, including Liquimali. Gary from LM Marine, thank you so very much. And, of course, all our good friends here at the Lions Club. Special thanks to Beer Dart, Visit Central Florida, Liquimali, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm photo, aerial flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Pro Rider Magazine, Commander Industries, Moto Option Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred, Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metal Works, and the Hot Slag Company. All right, Cameron Spooner, bottom right-hand side of the track. Your race leader with just over 2:30 left to go, plus a lap, as you can see him working his way down the front straightaway. Kid's full of energy. And he's going to opt for that outside split over on the left-hand side of the track. Here comes Fleming out of Port St. Lucie, sponsored by Jimmy Wilson and the folks over at 300 Motorsports. Still in second, McClure in third out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. It looks like Adams has possibly moved up into that fourth place position. Charlie Adams out of Appleton, Tennessee. Spooner already entering the split from the top of the right-hand side of the track as we view it here from the Pro Watercross compound. So just over 1:30 left on the clock right here for Spooner as he comes through. So he's probably got a couple more laps to go. So 94 Adams able to get in front of boat number 124, Guyver Santucci, about a lap and a half ago. And those two still battling it out for that fourth place position. What's that? I can't see shit anyway. I know, that was kind of a bad place. I was late getting here, so I wasn't able to voice my opinion before the before the riders. See, I said this.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and get up there tonight.
Nice.
That's awesome. How about you?
I got a watch party at the Barrel 239 downtown Winter Haven last year. We were here during the same deal, but I know the manager, so tell everybody to come out and give us a couple free drinks and party. I'd like to go over to Daytona. I got a lot of friends there.
So a lot of friends over at
Yeah, right. I'm sure.
That's when they remember you.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I haven't been to Supercross in a long time.
Okay.
How we doing, buddy?
Perfect.
Perfect. Awesome.
Split up fires.
There we go. I know
Everything's good.
Same for promoters.
Just that the end of the Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. All righty, the white flag out. Time has expired for Spoondog Light. Less than a lap to go for boat number 23. Your race leader, 132. Fleming still in second. 33, Cash McClure, still rounding out your top three. Again, McClure riding in the 10 to 12-year-old class, so he's actually in the lead in his class. Cameron Spooner leading in the 13 to 15 class around. So once again, the white flag is flying here at the Lions Park. Great to be out here at Lake Alfred. Again, for those of you folks that weren't here last weekend, we've been racing here since 1993. Long time. This place has a storied history. Before we raced here, not a lot of people know this, but they used to race the F1 boats here back in the day. Awesome stuff. As once again, the Pro Sport class should be coming to the starting line. Once again, Pro Sport class, we need you to the starting line. Congratulations, Spoondog Light, taking the win. What's that?
Leaked out.
Yeah, I was here last week. We had all kind of noise last week.
That's typical Bob.
Oh, yeah. Again, congratulations, your junior seed, 13 to 15 winner, Cameron Spooner, and your junior 10 to 12 winner was Cash McClure. Up next, we've got race number 3, and that's the Pro-Am Sports Spec. Stick around, folks. Got a good race coming at you next. I believe we got about 9-10 sport riders here in the Sports Spec class. This is race number 3, moto number 2. Pro-Am Sports Spec down on line, boat number 2 from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, riding the top of Yamaha Wave Blaster. That's going to be Arthur Katura. Boat number 7 out of West Henrietta, New York, sponsored by Watcon.com, Moto Option, and Pro Watercraft. That's Kayla Flitzka. Boat number 21 out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, is Haley Smith. Boat number 23 out of Miami, Florida, sponsored by Spoondog Racing and Cabrera Motorsports. That's Yanio Bermudez. Boat number 110 out of Bradenton, Florida, sponsored by Snyder Built Monster Energy Jet Trim and Jet Pilot, Tori Snyder. Boat number 128 out of Laurel, Maryland, is Kyle Lizzie. 146 out of Olenton, Kentucky, sponsored by Allen Auto Repair, Triple Cross Ministries, and P&P Performance, is Morgan Allen. 321 from Apopka, Florida, James Hill. Boat number 429 out of Port Orange, Florida. On the C2HX, Peter Dixon. Boat number 995, Jax Rowe out of Ooltewah, Tennessee, sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment. And I believe it was Rowe that took the win in Moto number 1. Or check that. Tori Snyder took the win in Moto number 1. Jax Rowe took a second. Haley Smith took a third in Moto number 1. Once again, don't forget, after every race, make sure that you take you and your boat to Tech. Tech is located at the launch pad. Once again, you know where the boat launch is. That's where you probably launched your boats. That's where you put them in. That's where you take them out. So, once again, please make sure that you take those boats as soon as you're done racing. And if you're with a pit crew, make sure that your rider gets the boat over to the launch pad immediately following the races. And again, we appreciate your cooperation in advance. Well, Jax Rowe and Tori Snyder were battling it out. Looks like Rowe getting ready to come out of the split, top left-hand side of the track, and Snyder going to get him. And you can see the gap between first and second, less than a second right there, as they work their way down the back straightaway toward the top right-hand side of the track. Get ready to enter the split. Where is Snyder going to go? Is he going inside or outside? Looks like he's going to go to the outside. Jax Rowe decided he wanted to go to the inside. Then you got Morgan Allen behind him in third place. So once again, Snyder down, bottom right-hand side of the track, getting ready to make the turn down the front straightaway. Jax Rowe going to try to show him a keel as he comes out of the turn, kind of like they do in Supercross tonight. You know, they go into those berm turns and they show him a wheel, and that gets in the rider's head. Well, here in personal watercraft racing, we show them a keel, and it's the same type of thing as they exit the split sections of the track. Yanio Bermudez going through the SBT start-finish line. Great-looking wrap on that Miami machine. Rowe once again getting ready to enter or exit the split on the left-hand side of the track, and it looked like Snyder may have gained about a half a second on him as you see your two leaders work their way to the right-hand side of the track on the back straightaway. Looks like Morgan Allen has slid back into that fourth place position. And that is boat number 21, Haley Smith, out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, that has moved up into that third place position. And here comes Smith working right to left toward the SBT start-finish line. So, again, Smith has moved up to third. That's Allen on the red Yamaha Wave Blaster down the front straightaway. It is in fourth. And then you got the Deuce back there on the C2HX running in fifth right now. That is Arthur Katura.
We were just talking about
Alrighty, looks like we got a rider down up there on the top left-hand side of the course. Let's see if we can get that rider's number here. Oh, that's the Miami machine. So, yeah, that is Bermudez, Yanio Bermudez, boat number 23, taking a water sample from Lake Alfred here. As you can see, the white flag, or the yellow flags rather, coming out, signifying there is an issue on the track. Course Marshal Randy out there to assist Yanio. And Torrey Snyder making it look easy out there, man. Snyder up there, top right-hand side of the track. He's working the outside split from, as we view it here from the Pro Watercross Tour compound. Pete Dixon getting the blue flag as here comes Snyder down the front straightaway. And Snyder going to follow Dixon through that outside split. So you got a back marker in front of Torrey Snyder on that outside split. Jack's Row, nothing but clean water in front of him as he works the inside on the left-hand side of the track. And here comes Haley Smith, still maintaining that third place position with just under 3.5 minutes to go. We're going to need race number 4, which is the Pro-Am and Novice Runabout 1100 limited classes. Race number 4, Pro-Am Runabout 1100 and Novice Runabout 1100 limited classes. We need you to the starting line. Once again, this is race number 3. Current time on deck, it's about 14:25. That's 2:25 for all you folks who weren't in the military. Snyder setting down a blistering pace right now. He's running sub-minute laps, which means under a minute for each lap there for Torrey Snyder. Taking a win in the Sport GP. Just a couple of races to go. You know, we were talking about it in the pits last weekend when we were here for rounds number 1 and 2. Tell me what you think. You know, after the races, we all used to get together and we used to go ped race. Like whether it was the host hotel parking lot or a parking lot near the race site or something to that effect. But I'm thinking, you know, nowadays with all the new kids, all the new blood, I see them all on one wheel. So I think we should have one wheel racing after the races here. You know, get some pit bike racing going on. By the way, I'll be selling rash guards. Strawberry preserves. Yeah, right. All right, your race leaders, left-hand side of the track. And Peter Dixon getting the blue flag is Haley Smith, who currently sits in third place, is heading to that inside split section. Back in the fourth spot is still boat number 2, Arthur Caturo. Morgan Allen out of Olenton, Kentucky, running in 5th. He's on the red Yamaha Wave Blaster out there. And Torrey Snyder coming up on the back of the pack right now. 42 seconds left on the clock, which means he'll probably get the white flag this next time around. So Torrey came through at the 42-second mark We'll see what kind of lap times that he is running. And once again, Snyder caught up in some lap traffic as he heads on to the top right-hand side of the track. Into the MasterCard buoy, and he says, well, I'm going to the outside. Looks like he's got Yanio Bermudez in front of him, who's ready to go a lap down as Evan gets ready for the white flag. Again, he came in 42 seconds. Time just expired. So Tori running right under a minute lap times. Boat number 7 also getting the blue flag with the yellow stripe. I believe that's Kayla, as Jax Rowe was hot on her tail. Rowe out there again on boat number 995. And he is on the inside split right now as your race leader heads on to the back straight from the outside. Here comes Jax Rowe from the inside. And still have a back marker in between first and second. Rowe's trying to change that right now as he gets past the back marker out on the back straightaway. So once again, this is race number 3. Race number 4 should be online. That is the pro and the novice runabout 1100 limited. We should have Devlin, Zipkin, Brookschmidt, Sebin, and Postlethwaite. And Tori Snyder takes the win as the checker flag drops here at the Lions Club in Lake Alfred. Congratulations, Tori Snyder, Jax Rowe, and then I believe we should have Haley Smith coming through in that third place position. Here comes Haley now. Boat number 21. Haley Smith taking third, so that'll do it here for the Pro-Am Sports Spec Class. Moto number 2. Snyder going 1-1. Easy to figure out who is going to be the overall at the awards tonight. The awards, by the way, will be held about 30 minutes after the last race. Once again, 30 minutes after the last race.
Right.
All right. Once again, race number 4 down online right now, representing the pros in the runabout 1100 limited. Boat number 321, James Devlin, who, James may not be here. He had a DNS in Moto number 1, representing the novice runabout 1100 limited. Sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart, Wetworks, and Weeks Brothers Water Sports out of Newton, New Hampshire. Boat number 7 is Susan Zipskin. Boat number 317 out of Sparrows Point, Maryland, is Kyle Brockschmidt. And Kyle took the win in Moto number 1 out of Ellington, Connecticut. Taking the third in Moto was boat number 427, Brody 7, sponsored by Commander Industries, the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metal Works, Earthlight Technologies, Wetworks, and Barber Utilities. Boat number 750 out of Thonotosassa, Florida, is Alan Postlethwaite. And I see that it doesn't look like Devlin or Postlethwaite made it to the starting line. Only 3 riders down there, Susan, Kyle, and Brody. And it looks like we are locked, cocked, and ready to rock and roll. 5 minutes plus a lap here in race number 4. Once again, 5 minutes plus a lap in race number 4. Kevin says, fire him up.
That's when you find out.
Once again, don't forget, we still got hot dogs, burgers, and all kinds of other goodies over there at the Lions Club Landing. Stop on over there and support these folks who have been so nice to us and rolled out that proverbial red carpet. So I believe that's boat number 427 on the inside. That is Brody 7 on the inside. Can he make it stick, though? We'll let you know as they get ready to come down straight away. There we go, 7 coming from the inside, but it looks like Susan Zipkin going to have the drive coming from the outside. And Zipkin and 7 both going to the outside. 317 dives to the inside. That's Postlewade, who took a first in Moto number 1. I'm sorry, that was Brooke Schmidt, rather, that took a win in Moto number 1. Currently was sitting in that third place position, but just picks off Zipkin, moves up into second as they head along the back straightaway. What's that? So Brody 7 is your race leader, followed by Brock Schmidt. All right. Riders started dead last, now in second, 427, 7 in front. 317, Brooke Schmidt in second. And Zipkin in third. Once again, this only 5 minutes plus a lap. We only got 3 minutes left on the clock. Junior Sports Spec and Super Chicken class. Junior Sports Spec and Super Chicken class. You are coming up next. Once again, race number... I'm sorry, no, you're not up next. My apologies. Pro-Am X2 Open, Vintage 550 Ski, and Vintage Ski Open, race number 5. You're up next. So, Flitzka, Freeman, Meyer, Landry, Stevens, you're up next. Oh, man, well, we got some old school rap on here now. The macaroni soggy, the peas on mush, and the chicken tastes like wood. Zipkin with 2 minutes left on the timer comes through the SBT start-finish line. So, again, only a couple laps left to go here in race number 4. We need race number 5. That is our X2 and our vintage ski classes down to the starting line. Once again, race number 5. Vintage X2 and vintage ski classes. Need you down to the starting line. Whoa, and looked like boat number 317 went a little bit wide there. Came off the top side of the track. Didn't know if he was going inside or outside. Decided last second he's going to go to the outside. That's Kyle Brockschmidt, who moved into the lead, started dead last. Now working that inside split in the lead. Second place is Brody 7. Again, Brody out of Ellington, Connecticut. And he is sponsored by Casey's Cafe, Seven's Lawn Service, and Wetworks. Yeah, he took the win handily in that first race. Had to work for it here in this one. And I believe he'll probably be getting the white flag next time around. All right. No white flag that time around. Not quite. Still about 15 seconds left on the clock. So Kevin says, I'm going to make him work for it. So time gets ready to expire here in race number 4. Race number 5 should be online. Once again, that's our vintage ski and vintage X2 classes.
Wow.
All right, congratulations, 317, Kyle Brockschmidt out of Sparrows Point, Maryland, taking the win. All righty, and Susan Zipkin coming through in that third place position. Brody 7 taking second, and that'll do it here for race number 4. Once again, I'd like to say a very special thanks to SBT, Short Block Technologies, shopsbt.com. Once again, folks, you can check out all their newest, latest, and greatest products, shopsbt.com. Again, I'd like to say a special thanks to Beer Dart, Visit Central Florida, Liquid Wally, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm Photo, Aerial Flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering. Thanks, Todd Sarsinski. Hope you're listening in from up there in the Great White North. Boat number 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, and Pro Rider Magazine's Commander Industries, Moto Option Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. Thank you all so very much for your support here this weekend. All right, round number 3 of the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series, brought to you by Liqui Moly. Once again, immediately following your race, make sure that you head over to the boat launch to get your boat technical inspected. Once again, make sure that you're getting your boat inspected. Immediately following your race, head to the boat launch. Once again, immediately following your race, head to the boat launch. And again, we appreciate your cooperation in advance. righty. Sorry about that, folks. Got to hydrate, man. It is Florida. And we'll let you know who the leaders are as they come back around. I believe that's Kayla Flitzka. That is your race leader on the pink X2 right now. Bottom right-hand side of the track as she gets ready to make the turn. Come down the front straightaway. And there is Kayla. Easy to pick out on the pink X2. Andrew Freeman still sitting in second on boat number 7X. Kayla, again, out of West Henrietta, New York, sponsored by Watcon.com, Moto Option, and Pro Watercraft. Andrew Freeman sitting in second out of Painted Post, New York, sponsored by Wet Dream Team Racing, as well as Corning Construction. And like I believe that's Callan Landry that is currently leading in the Vintage Ski Open class up there at the top right-hand side of the track, getting ready to make his decision whether he's going inside or outside. And he says, I'm going to the outside. Once again, right-handed track here, our second race weekend in the United States. Glad to be a part of it. Hope everybody can join us next weekend as we invade Orange, Texas for the first round of the Pro Watercross Tour. Once again, race number 6 should be working their way to the line. That is the Junior Sports Spec and the Super Chicken class. One minute, 10 seconds left on the clock here in this vintage class. So it looks like Kayla probably got about 2.25 more laps to go here as she works her way through the outside. We are just under a minute. And Freeman coming from the inside. Looks like he's going to try to steal the lead away from Kayla, and does. So Andrew Freeman, with the orange headdress out there, moves into the lead. So Freeman into the lead here as the white flag should be coming out the next lap around. Only 30 seconds left on the ticker. And again, race number 6 is coming up next. That's the Junior Sports Spec and the Super Chicken class. Once again, folks, don't forget to stop up here at the merchandise booth before you leave town today. Pick up your Winter Series swag. Go back home and be in the latest style with your new SBT ECW swag. Pro Watercross. I know we got the tour hats up here from Liquid Molly and stuff already, so check that stuff out. So here comes Freeman, and out comes the white flag from Kevin up on the flagging stand. So Andrew Freeman now with a commanding lead in the X2 class. Here comes Kayla on the pink X2. She's going to opt to go to the outside. And there is boat number 1. That's Joe Meyer on the vintage ski. And on the black and blue vintage ski, that's Ryan Stevens. Short stroke out of Mansfield, Ohio. Sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment, Lucor Automotive Services, the PWC Doctor, and Easy Hitch Haulers. Kylie Meyer on boat number 2 out of Jacksonville, sponsored by Glidwell Racing. One of our Pro-Am ski racers out here in the vintage class. Gotta like that. Meanwhile, Freeman will Take the checkered right here from Kevin Scott, our director out here with the ECW Winter Series. Kayla Fliska will end up in second on boat number 7. Sponsored by Watcon.com. And there is boat number 1, Joe Meyer, who takes the win in the Vintage Ski 550 class. Once again, Super Chickens are coming up next. There's a 95 Vintage Ski Open rider, Ryan Stevens. Short stroke coming through second position in his class. As I see the Chickens working their way to the starting line. This will be race number 6, ladies and gentlemen. And for all of you listening at home at the live broadcast, I'd like to welcome you out to Lions Park. We're in Lake Alfred, Polk County, Florida, home of the United States' most famous sheriff, Grady Judd. All right, once again, Junior Sports Spec combined with Super Chicken class. Boat number 14 is Bryson Dill. He's out of Naples, Florida. And boat number 23 out of Dania Beach, Florida, sponsored by Spoon Dog Racing, Onium, and Jet Life Miami is Cameron Spooner. Boat number 88 representing the Super Chicken class, Tully Zipkin out of Newton, New Hampshire, sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart, Wetworks, and Weeks Brothers Water Sports. Boat number 197 also out of Newton, New Hampshire. Sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart, Wetworks, and Weeks Brothers Water Sports. Susan Zipkin, a husband and wife going against each other in the Super Chicken class. And you got Dylan Spooner joining the party in the Sports Spec class. So 2 different classes represented. The Sports Spec class going to start from the inside. Super Chicken's going to start from the outside. Today, the inside pole of the track is on the right-hand side, not the left-hand side as normal, as we got a right-handed track out here this weekend. For those of you who are listening in on WECW radio and live stream. Now, I forget the name of this band. Maybe you could help me, Wicked Princess. This is with the boots with the fur, right? Because yeah, exactly. Apple bottom jeans and boots with the fur. That band is like from right around here. Believe it or not, yeah, they are. I seen them in Polk City before, which is just up the street here. All right, once again, sport class. Spooner starting on the outside. Over here by the inside, Bryson Dill going to start in pole position. All right. Dill and Spooner both starting from that inside. Super Chicken starting from the outside. Tully having some problems getting off the line with the Super Chicken. Says, what up, course marshal Randy? Randy said, your wife's just beating you. Randy said, I ain't got no dog in this hunt. Okay, Dill, your early leader on the inside. Spooner hot on his tail. And they're working their way through the blue buoys over here on the right-hand side of the track. That's the inside split right side. And here comes Dill down the front straightaway. Dill trying to take the line away. Looked like Cameron Spooner was looking to try to steal that line away. Spooner will go to the inside. Dill goes to the outside. We'll see if Spooner can catch him here. Again, Dill, your leader as they went into the splits. Spooner with a little slide out right there. I don't know if not going to help him too much as looks like he stalled out coming out of that split right there. You know, we thought last race he might have been running low on fuel. He actually might be having a mechanical issue as he pulls over and lets the Super Chickens go by. Well, now he's back on the throttle. I don't know. Is he playing games? That's how I got kicked out of elementary school. I wouldn't go to recess. My teacher asked me why. I said, well, I don't play. We straight up business here, folks. So Dill is your leader, and here comes Susan with a Super Chicken. And Spooner looking over at her, making sure that she's not going to take that inside. Tully says, I'll follow you, Spooner. So once again, we got Team Zivkin out there on the Super Chickens 88-197, sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart Wet Works, and Weeks Brothers Water Sports. Bryson Dill, your leader out there from Naples, Florida, 15 years fast, and Cameron Spooner. Spoondog Light looks like he got back in front of the Super Chickens out there, and now he's got Dill setting his gun sights. And let's see if he goes to the outside or the inside. Spooner going to go to the outside, Dill to the inside, right-hand side of the track. Race number 7, that is the Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. You should be down on the starting line. I believe that's Lyons, Dressel, Wilcox, and Rowe. We need you to the starting line. Race number 7. 1 minute, 40 seconds left on the clock. Here for race number 6. This is their second moto. Again, Spooner winner in the junior sports spec in moto number 1. In the Super Chicken race, it was Tully Zipkin who took A1 in moto number 1. And I believe that is Spooner and Dill on the top right-hand side of the track on the black Yamaha Wave Blaster. And Spooner opts to go to the inside. Dill's also opting to go to the inside. So Spooner now back into the lead with 1 minute left. All righty. So Spooner points over to Dill and says, hey, go to the outside. I'm going to try the inside. Well, been a great day for racing so far here in Lake Alfred. Glad everybody online could join us at the East Coast Watercross live stream here for the SBT ECW Winter Series. This is round number 3. Fourth round, the final round, will be held tomorrow. So if you like what you're seeing, make sure you tune in and check us out tomorrow, as time is ready to expire here in race number 6. So the white flag will be coming up this next lap around. And you can see Dylan Spooner up there. Spooner going to go, is he going to follow suit? Yep, he's going to go to the outside. He's going to follow Dill to the outside. And I believe that is Tully that is now ahead in the Super Chicken class. And we are side by side, going down the front straightaway as the white flag comes out. Less than a lap to go. Tully now in the lead of the Super Chicken class, and Susan back in second. White flag out, not much time to go. Once again, this is race number 6. Race number 7, you should be down on the starting line. Once again, that's the Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. By the way, for those of you folks that didn't know, one of the changes they made over there in the cafeteria from this week to last week, they now have onion rings over there. Boy, if you like onion rings, they make some good ones over there at the Lions Club. So don't forget, they're still cooking up some food. So if you're still a little hungry, a little thirsty, stop on over at the Lions Club Landing. They got burgers, dogs, fries, onion rings, tater tots, cheesy fries, nachos. I know I'm making you hungry.
Yeah, right.
All right, so Dill and Spooner come in 1 and 2. And it's going to be Tully and Susan 1 and 2 in the Super Chicken class. That'll do it for race number 6. 7 is coming to the line. Once again, I'd like to say a very special thanks to SBT. That's Short Block Technologies. ShopSBT.com. Support those who support the sport. SBT, a big proprietor of the sport, as is Liqui-Moly, our presenting sponsor. Make sure that you're using Liqui-Moly. All right, looks like we're locked, cocked, and ready to rock and roll once again. This is race number 7, so we're over halfway done with the second half of the day. Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. So once again, this is race number 7, Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. Down on line, boat number 07, Joe Lyons out of Frederick, Maryland. We got boat number 380. That is Ben Dressel. Sponsored by Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, IPD, and ODI Grips out of Pasadena, Maryland. Boat number 525 out of Franklin, New Hampshire. Sponsored by Commander Youth Racing, as well as Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Showtime, Freestyle, Hot Slag, No Limits Metalworks, Z-Force Racing, Teen Wolf Racing, and Dad's Overtime. Boat number 995 out of Ooltewah, Tennessee. Sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment is Jax Rowe. So that is your field here for race number 7. And for those of you folks that may be listening in at home, maybe you're waiting on a particular class. I'll work my way over here. Race number 7, this is the Pro-Am Ski 4-stroke lights. Race number 8 is the Pro-Am Ski stock. Race 9, Junior 4-stroke ski lights and Junior 4-stroke lights in the 10 to 12 class. Race number 10 is a novice runabout 4-stroke combined with a Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke. Race number 11 is the Pro-Am 1050 class. And then we've got the Pro-Am Ski GP, final race of the day, which is race number 12. This is 7 on the water. I believe that's Ben Dressel out in front right now. So Ben Dressel out of Pasadena, Maryland is your early racer, or your early leader, rather. Sponsored by Fly Racing, as well as Jet Trim, Rhino Power, IPD, and the ODI Grips. You see him working his way down the back straightaway. And it looks like he's got Joe Lyons right behind him. So Dressel, your race leader, opts to go to the outside split. Lyons follows him on the outside in the red, white, and blue boat. And here he comes down the front straightaway. And Dressel, still your race leader. Lyons in second, 995. That is Jax Rowe back there in the third position. I expect Rowe to probably move up through the pack. Didn't get the greatest of starts. Jack's not used to be back in that third place position. Race number 8. Race number 8, you got about 5 minutes plus a lap before your race takes off. Once again, race number 8 is the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. We need you down to the starting line. Once again, Pro-Am Ski Stock. Kylie Meyer, winner of Moto number 1 in that Pro-Am Ski Stock class. This one here, Jax Rowe was a winner. In your first race, Dressel took a 4th in the first race. And looking to climb his way up onto the podium. Jax Rowe now battling Lyons for that second place position. You got Rowe on the inside, Lyons on the outside, left-hand side of the track. Let's see who comes out in front. Rowe on boat number 995. Followed Dressel through that inside split. It's Dressel, your race leader, and Lyons still in second place, but Rowe was right there and ready to take advantage of any slip, trip, or bobble as your leaders head on to the top right-hand side of the track. Dressel still your race leader, and I believe Dressel's probably going to go to the outside. Second place, Lyons to the inside. Third place, Rowe also to the outside. We'll see if Rowe can get Lyons on this lap right here. Jax Rowe, he has coming from the outside. Jack's going to have the drive. And look, that has to swap over. Lyons took his line away. Jax made his own line right there. Slides out just a little bit as he enters the inside split, left-hand side of the track.
All right, everybody. I am happy to tell you that we are currently live broadcasting lap times for the first time on our own. Like a bunch of big kids, we figured out how to plug in all these things and get these GPS transponders. If you go to prowatercross.livemotorsports.com/live/scoring/ and you remember all that, you can watch the live lap times. There's also a link that we'll put somewhere. I'll put it on my story right now. And then you can watch some live lap times. We'll get a few more classes with them. We'll do the juniors Race number 9, we'll get some on the juniors, and then the Pro-Am runabout, 4 strokes. We'll try and do the last few. We'll get GPS transponders going.
Fantastic, fantastic. Love it, love it. Always the innovator and never the imitator. Sean Dudek here at the East Coast Watercross. Well, no lead changes that last time around. Looks like I take that back. Well, we got Dressel on the outside. I believe that's Lions on the inside. Rowe goes to the outside. Wilcox goes to the inside. So here comes Dressel out of the split. 1:40 left on the clock right now. Lions right there, and he's being pressed right now by Jax Rowe. Once again, Rowe has to go over the wake. Oh! And Rowe cartwheels down the front straightaway. And it looked like he was just about ready to overtake that second place position. Had to cross over the wake, being put out by Lions. Lions stole his line away, and that tosses Rowe to the drink. Tough break there for Jax Rowe. Hey, by the way, we got Miriam up here again this weekend, and she's selling Girl Scout cookies for anybody who hasn't gotten any Girl Scout cookies for the season yet. I believe they're $6 a box, and they've got all kinds of cookies up here. If you want to come on up here, say hello to Miss Miriam, and pick up yourself some Girl Scout cookies. I know I myself got some Thin Mints last weekend. Matter of fact, I just finished them up last night. Alrighty, so Lions trying to chase Dressel down. Here comes Dressel down the front straightaway. Meanwhile, yellow flag is out. Well, it looks like Jax Rowe just getting rebooted there. And a tough break going from third to fourth. Like that, he had to cross over Lions' wake, and Lions, I don't know, I think I would have done the same thing if I was Lions, and I was feeling the pressure. He just kind of stole his line away, came from that inside split, right-hand side of the track, stole the line away. They had to go over that little ripple there, and that little ripple sent him swimming. So a tough break for Rowe, but I'm sure that he'll be back for the attack tomorrow. Dressel still your leader, and Lions right there in his back pocket as the white flag will come out this time around. Time has expired here for this race right here. The white flag is out, and Dressel with 1 lap to go. Can he take the win? Coming back from a 4th place finish in Moto number 1. Dressel working to the inside. Again, sponsored by Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, IPD, ODI. Race number 8, Pro-Am Ski Stock. You should be on the starting line. Once again, race number 8, Pro-Am Ski Stock. You should be down on the starting line. And Lions challenging Dressel. Got the inside line on him right now. They're rail to rail as they head up to the top right-hand side of the track. Dressel opts to go to the outside, Lions to the inside. So they went in pretty even right there. Neither one of them having to let off the throttle. And it'll be Dressel, first one down to the front straightaway. And here comes Lions from the inside. He's going to show him a keel. Nothing doing. Dressel gooses that throttle and powers out and takes the win over Lions. Boat number 995, Jax Rowe, came through in third, but is in fourth. 595 Wilcox will end up in third. And there you have it for race number 7. Moving right along. Race number 8 coming up next. That is the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. We should have 6 riders down here in this one. Lambert, Antonese, Warman, Smith, Meyer, and Forenash. Meyer was the winner in Moto number 1. Yeah, go Kylie. Go Kylie, go. Special K in the house. Once again, this is race number 8, trying to get through race number 12 by 4 o'clock. That way we can take that half-hour break during the wedding session, come back after the wedding session at 4:35 and do the awards. I know last weekend, I know that we were here till about 5:30, finishing up the races last weekend, trying to get everybody out of here a little bit earlier. Although we do have more entries this weekend, which is pretty cool. Nice to see you, too. Hey, you guys take care. Enjoy Supercross, man. We're coming up on that 2-year book right now. Alrighty, once again down there online, we've got the Pro-Am Ski Stock Class. For those of you folks that are listening in on the SBT ECW Winter Series live stream, my name is Mike Young. I'm your host, and feel free to Facebook message me if you got any questions online. I don't have a computer in front of me right now. Well, I do have a computer, but it is not on. And but if you got any questions, please feel free to Facebook message me. Down online as I take a look down here. Boat number 5 on the nickel from Johnson City, Tennessee is Thomas Lambert. Boat number 79 from Miami Beach, Florida is Stefano Atenise. Boat number 98 from Pembroke Pines, Florida, Shelby Warman. Boat number 317 from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, Trayton Smith. And winner of Moto number 1. Boat number 529 out of Jacksonville, Florida. Sponsored by Glidwell Racing, Placid Pools, and Marsh Rats Inshore Charters. That is Kylie Meyer. That rounds out your field of competitors, as this will be 8 minutes plus a lap. Once again, 8 minutes plus a lap. All right, we are off and away here with our Pro-Am Ski Stock Class. And everything looks to be clean and green. Well, it looks like Kylie Meyer on the outside. Looks like 9:04 on the outside. So it's going to be Meyer, your early race leader, followed by, actually, that's Fornash, who didn't race the first race. That's 8:04.
Mikey, I can tell you that they did 38 miles an hour. We're up to 50.9 miles an hour on the backstretch.
Oh, nice. So you got mile per hour now, too.
Yep. So I got Kylie right now. Let's see. Kylie at 59.9 59.78 is Kylie's fastest miles per hour.
So Kylie going nearly 60 mile per hour right now as on a stock ski. Wow.
Let's see what they get for miles per hour coming down the front straightaway here. In the sweepers over there, she's doing 46 miles an hour.
And here she comes.
Right down the front straight, 59.03.
Nice. Second place on the 804. That's Fornash.
That was a 52.8 second lap time for Kylie Meyer. 52.8.
That's pretty blistering time out here. Most of the lap times have been right around a minute for most of the classes today. I believe that's Shelby Warman out of Pembroke Pines back there in the third place position.
So all this data that we can get, the most impressive part is how close the data is. That last lap for Kylie and Shelby Warman was exactly the same within 100th of a second.
Wow.
Exactly the same within 100th of the second.
So Warman's definitely warming up, so to speak. 5.5 minutes left on the clock here. Boat number 904 getting ready to come, or 804 rather, getting ready to come out of the outside split.
Yes.
And that is second place right now. That's Fornash, who did not race the first race.
I can pull it up on here.
Within 30,000 seconds of a second, Kylie did the exact same lap time, lap 2 to 1.
I was going to say, that's easy for you to say. Just having a good time up here, man. Great to be a part of the SVT East Coast Watercross Winter Series. Always having fun.
We're glad to have you with us, Mikey. And if you guys don't know, Mikey's going to be with us at Pro Watercross, too, in Orange, Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
Along with your good buddy, Mr. Dave Arnold.
Dave Arnold. Yeah, he talked to me last night. He gave me a call about 2 in the morning, not realizing he was in California and I was in Florida.
Sounds about right. We'll also have Kyla DeRozier out there. Kyla will be working as our pit reporter alongside with Mikey Young and Dave Arnold, getting tips and tricks.
Yeah, it should be a great time. I understand there's a barbecue festival that's going on out there as well.
There is a SETX Craft Beer and Barbecue Festival, so you mix craft beer, barbecue, and jet skis, and we've got ourselves a weekend.
Now we need ourselves an alarm clock is what we do for Sunday. Unless we get all the racing in on Saturday. Kylie Meyer with just under 4 minutes. Still your race leader, coming up to the back of the pack as she works the inside split over here on the left-hand side of the track.
As Kylie's getting deeper into this moto, her lap times are dropping. She's down to a 55.8. Dropped 2 seconds off of her lap time in that last lap around.
So you're a racer, Sean. Tell me, about what lap does the arm pump set in?
Well, for me, it's about the first buoy. For guys that actually train and exercise, typically you can make it to lap 3 or 4, depending on how rough it is. A nice smooth day like this, 3 or 4. A day like last Sunday when we had some 3-foot chop, about lap 1.5.
Yeah, right. I was just wondering about all that chop in the GP classes and how the GPs were going to handle that chop last weekend. I mean, it got really rough out here, man. It was probably one of the roughest times I've ever seen it here in Lake Alfred.
Well, you can tell the difference when a Superjet 1050 actually beat most of the GP skis, because those GP skis are brutal in the rough, and that Superjet cut through it a little bit easier and was a lot easier on Prado's body. He was definitely outmotored by quite a bit, but he still hung in there and beat most of us.
Well, it looks like the wind, as we're talking about, the wind has actually kind of picked up and it's changed directions. It looks like the wind is now coming out of the southwest. It was coming out of the northwest a little earlier today, but you can see things starting to pick up out on the track.
Yeah, we're going to have to check the weather. It feels like we got something brewing our way. I knew there was some things on the radar for 5 or 6 p.m., but we're going to try and get this thing done by 4. It's 3:22. We're going to be cutting it close. If we're not done, we're going to take a half-hour break and restart again at 4:30.
There's your race leader, Meyer, with 2 minutes left on the clock. Going through the SBT start-finish line. There's Antonise. Antonise now going through that start-finish line. Meanwhile, here in the Pro-Am Ski stock class, for those of you folks listening in, it's been the Kylie Meyer Show. Again, Kylie sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment, as well as Glidwell Racing, Placid Pools, and the Marsh Rats Inshore Charter Team. Coming up next, we need race number 9 down to the line. Race number 9 down to the starting line. So once again, we've got to stop racing at 4 o'clock. For those of you folks that weren't here last week, there is a wedding venue that is right across the lake here from us. And they put on weddings from 4 to 4:35. So we have to have the track is going red at 4 o'clock. So once again, trying to get through all the races here. And then we can start the awards at 4:30. 4:35, but we may or may not make it. This is race number 8 that's out on the water right now. They still have about 24 seconds before time expires. Kylie Meyer is your race leader out there, followed by Fornash in second. Shelby Warman in the third spot. And here come your leaders down the front straightaway. So the white flag comes out for Kylie Meyer. That was Fornash right behind her. Here comes Warman through the SBT start-finish line. So that's the way they stack up 1 through 3 right now, and we are on the white flag lap. Race number 9, you should be online. All right, once again, we need Ellie Stevens. Ellie Stevens, please report to your team tent. Ellie Stevens, please report to your team. Thank you. Once again, we got Girl Scout cookies for sale in front of announcing. Only $6. Tell you what, I got my $6 worth out of them Thin Mints. And how about it? Kylie Meyer going 2 for 2 here in the Pro-Am Ski stock class this weekend. Great job by Kylie Meyer, again sponsored by Glidwell Racing, as well as Team Reckless Abandonment. Here comes the 804 of Tim Fornash taking a second place. Warman will take third. She took a second in moto number 1. That's going to give her second spot on the box later tonight. Once again, you're watching Short Block Technologies, the East Coast Watercross Winter Series, presented by Liqui-Moly.
Check, check. For those of you watching at home, if for some reason there is a sudden end to the stream,
reminder,
that would be due to the weather that's moving
to pick up a little bit. Make sure that your easy ups, your canopies are on lockdown. Alrighty, this is race number 9. This is the junior 4-stroke lights, 10 to 12, and 4-stroke lights in your 13 to 15-year-old class. So as we take a look down, we should have, I believe, about 8 riders ready to do battle down there. We got Cash McClure. He's going to be on boat number 33 out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, sponsored by TC Free Ride, McClure Racing, and Chase Plumbing. Boat number 114, Braden Dill, sponsored by Wade Chapin Performance, Judge Motorsports, and Exotic Signs. And then you got Charlie Adams, sponsored by One Up Storage and Thunderstruck Racing out of Appleton, Tennessee, on boat number 710. Boat number 23, representing the 13 to 15-year-old class, is Cameron Spooner out of Dania Beach, Florida, sponsored by Spoon Dog Racing and Simply Clean Detailing, as well as Onium and Jet Life Miami. Guyver Santucci out of Destin, Florida, will be on boat number 24. Boat number 31, Bentley Cox, who took a second in the first moto. Logan Fleming out of Port St. Lucie, Florida, sponsored by Farthing Racing, 300 Motorsports, and IPD Graphics on 132. And then 595 is Sebastian Wilcox, sponsored by the Commander Youth Racing Program, as well as Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, and Showtime Freestyle. All right, so the horn sounds, and we are off and away here for race number 9. Once again, 12 total races. We have to stop again, just so everybody knows, at 4 o'clock. Going to try to get all the way through number 12. This one here, I believe, is 8 minutes plus a lap. It's going to be pretty close. Probably going to be right about where we were last weekend. How we doing, Adrian? Everything good? Nice. All right, boat number 23, Spoondog Light coming out in first place. Cash McClure in second. And it looked like Bentley Cox rounding out your top 3 here on lap number 1 as they head onto the top left-hand side of the track. Your race leader opted to go to that outside split, and he is just getting ready to exit right now. Spoondog Light out of Dania Beach, Florida, sponsored by Spoondog Racing, and you can see already starting to put a little real estate between he and Cash McClure, who's still running in second. Cox back there in third. Cox only about a second and a half behind second place McClure as they work their way to the top right-hand side of the track, the decision buoy. And it looks like 1, 2, and 3 all going to the outside. Here come your leaders down the front straightaway. Just under 6.5 left. Spoondog Light. Cameron Spooner followed by McClure on boat number 33. Again, McClure out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, sponsored by TC Free Ride. Getting some help from Taylor Curtis and the West Coast crew. Race number 10, we need you to the starting line. Once again, race number 10, we're going to need you to the starting line. That is novice and pro-am runabout 4-stroke. Race number 10, novice pro-am runabout 4-stroke. We need you to the starting line.
We're going to run TTP after 4:30. So at 4:30, we're going to break at 4 for quiet time. 4:30, we run TTP for a good. So basically we're running through 11. Yeah, that way we're not having, because we're going to have to cut our laps.
All righty. Once again, I'm just getting orders from headquarters up here that we are going to race through race number 11. The Pro-Am Ski GP will be after the break. Once again, the Pro-Am Ski GP will be after the break. So at 4:35, we'll come back with the Pro-Am Ski GP, and we'll race through race number 11. Once again, we'll race through race number 11 before we take the break. Once again, current time on deck, it's just about 3:32, 15:32 for you military folk. Meanwhile, your race leader, still Cameron Spooner from Dania Beach. And Cam going to opt to go to the outside split again. .595, I believe that's Wilcox still back there in the 4th spot. Bentley Cox currently sitting in 3rd on boat number 31. Alrighty, looks like we had a rider down over on the right-hand side of the course. Cash McClure running a Just under a minute lap time, a 59.680, I believe, on that last lap. Yeah. Bentley Cox running in just over a 1 minute lap time. So, again, less than a half a second separating those two as far as fast lap times. Spooner is your race leader, though, as 1, 2, and 3 all go. 4 go to the outside split. I believe that's Wilcox back there in fourth. Yes, it is. The top 4 pretty much separating from the rest of the pack. That is Fleming is, I believe, back there in the fifth spot, followed by boat number 710. And that is Charlie Adams. Looks like Charlie on some borrowed property out there. So once again, race number 10 should be online. Race number 11, stand by. You're going to be coming up. And again, during from 4 to 4:35, there should be absolutely nobody on the water. Once again, going completely silent, or even dropping the microphone. Or as I like to call it, a mic drop. 2:15 left on the timer. So we've still got time for a couple of more laps. Probably got about 3 more laps for these riders. 3 to 4 more laps. That's Fleming coming through the start-finish line. Again, Fleming was currently sitting in the 4th place position. Race leader is on the opposite side of the track. So Spooner coming up to the back of the pack right now. And he is... And here comes your leader up on Brayton Dill. And Spooner goes to the outside split. 33, Cash McClure still sitting in second place. Cox right there, not going anywhere. Trying to keep McClure in his gun sights. However, those two, I believe, are in different classes. So Cox actually sitting second in his class. Cash sitting first in his class. And Spooner obviously sitting first in the 13 to 15 four-stroke lights class. Once again, we need race 10 to the line. Race number 11. Start thinking about it, putting on your wetsuits, everything like that. Again, we are going to race through race 11, and then we'll come back for race number 12 after the break. Going to take a short break here at 4 o'clock, folks. Short 35-minute break, and then we'll be back at it at 4:35 with the Pro Ski GP. All right, Spooner with only about 15 seconds left on the clock comes through, so he's going to have to go another lap before the white flag comes out. So just under 2 laps to go for Cameron Spooner, your race leader, number 23 out of Dania Beach, Florida. Once again, race number 10, race number 11, stand by. You're both racing. Race number 12, Pro-Am Ski GP, you're going to race after the break. Once again, Pro-Am Ski GP, you'll race after the break. Once again, while we have the opportunity, I'd like to say a special thanks to Short Block Technologies, of course, our friends at Beer Dart. It is Steve Hotchkiss, who is our lead tech inspector and our transponder sponsor. Special thanks to Beer Dart as the white flag comes out for your race leader, Cameron Spooner. And there comes your battle for second, both going to the outside split. And it's McClure followed by Bentley Cox. And Wilcox is also right there in the mix as well. Sebastian Wilcox in 4th place out of Franklin, New Hampshire, sponsored by Dad's Overtime, Teen Wolf Racing, Z-Force Racing, and Showtime Freestyle. And looking to battle down that back straightaway. I believe that was Brayton Dill that is getting past. It's actually going a lap down right now, but that was your battle for second. And here we go down the front straightaway one final time as the checkered flag comes out for Spoondog Light. Cameron Spooner taking the win here. Junior 13 to 15 four-stroke class. It looks like Cash McClure going to take the win in the 10 to 12 class. Bentley Cox taking a second in the 13 to 15 class. And Will Cox comes through, I believe, third place in the junior four-stroke ski lights class. That'll do it for race number 9. 10 is down on the line. All right, once again, 2 more races to go here before the break. And we've got to hustle it up. Again, got to be off the water by 4 o'clock. Got to be off the water by 4 o'clock. This is race number 10, novice runabout and pro-am runabout four-stroke. Representing the novices out there, boat number 0 is Arthur Ketura out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Boat number 117 out of Miami is Andy Martinez. Representing the pro-am runabout four-stroke class, boat number 37, Davey Prado. Boat number 110 is Tori Snyder, sponsored by Snyder-Built Monster Energy Jet Trim and Jet Pilot. Armando Martinez out of Miami. Boat number 281, Marcio Bendetti. Boat number 529 out of Orlando. And boat number 606, Alex Dobson out of Angola, Indiana, rounds out your field. Winner in the first moto in the pro four-stroke class was Tori Snyder. In the novice runabout four-stroke class, it was Arthur Ketura. So once again, this is race number 10, getting ready to take off down on the starting line. Alrighty, 8 minutes plus a lap here in this novice and pro-am runabout combined four-stroke class. Again, like to say a very special thanks to the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metalworks, JetX Power Sports, 139 Designs, the Lake Alfred Lions Club, the City of Lake Alfred, Hammerhead Tactical, Extreme Service Center, Moto Option Clothing, Commander Industries, Pro Rider Magazine, 139 Designs, 595 Handling Solutions, Hamburg Floor Covering, Global Integrated Technologies. And we are off and away as the horn sounds. All right, current time on deck, it's about 13:41. 13:41 right now. I'm sorry, 15:41.
We're going to be running tight with this next class, so let's rally these next.
Okay, we need race number 11. We need you down to the starting line. Once again, we're going to be really tight. We want to give you guys all the time on the clock that we can. So again, if you're in race number 11, we need you down to the starting line. Again, the only race that will not race before the break, the only race that will not race before the break is our Pro Ski GP class. Again, the Pro-Am 1050 class. Pro-Am 1050 class, we need you to the starting line. Once again, the Pro-Am 1050 class, we need you to the starting line. Thank you. All right, well, wind still picking up coming out of the southwest. but not bothering your leader at all. We'll give you the leaders as they come back by the start-finish line. Looks like Arthur back there in second. I see Tori in third. And I believe that was Prado that was out in front. Davey Prado, boat number 37, is your race leader out in front, out of Brazil, sponsored by Casarini, Pro Watercraft, Jet Tribe, Mono Soprania, and More My Wetsuits. And you can see him working left to right down the back straightaway right now. Snyder trying to get in front of Arthur. It looks like he makes the pass on the split on the left-hand side of the track as you see him working Arthur down the back straightaway. And Snyder going to opt to go to the outside split. And it looked like fourth place actually went to the inside and maybe making up some time because it doesn't look like Arthur's under full power there on that outside split. So fourth place going to move into third right here. And that is boat number 281, Armando Martinez, that moves into third. Marcio Bendetti up into fourth. And, Arthur pulling in a little bit early, coming into the pits, having some problems on the zero boat. Meanwhile, Snyder got his gun sights set on first place. Davey Prado working his way through the outside split on the right-hand side of the track. Once again, guys and gals, remember, as soon as you're done with your races, make sure that you go to the launch pad and meet with Steve. Once again, go to the launch pad and meet with Steve as soon as you are done with your race. So you can see Prado right now with about, I would say, a 5-second advantage over Snyder. But it looks like Snyder has come alive. Martinez, that's Armando Martinez. We got a couple of Martinez's out there. Out of Miami, Florida, still hanging on to third place. Fourth, Bendetti. And fifth place is Dobson on boat number 606 out of Angola, Indiana. So that's the way they stack up 1 through 6 right now as we are closing in on the halfway mark here. It looks like 4:20 left on the clock. Prado still your race leader. Once again, race number 11, we need you to the starting line. Once again, we don't want to shave any minutes off your times. That is the Pro 1050 class. Pro 1050 class, we need you to the starting line. Dobson gets past Bendetti. Bendetti goes to the inside. Well, he was going to the inside split. Looked like he was coming into that inside. Decided to go outside. He's going to follow Dobson the long way away. Prado with another pass. Back by the start-finish line. Once again, race number 11, we need you down to the starting line and set to go because we are going to drop the flag, that start flag, as soon as this race is over and the last racer comes through. So we ask that you help us to help you. Alrighty, just a couple more races to go. For those of you folks that are watching in on the live stream, we sure do appreciate everybody for tuning in at 4 o'clock here after this next race. So we are going to take a half-hour break before we come back with the GP class. So the Pro-Am Ski GP class should be right about 3:35 East Coast Standard Time, 3:35 to 3:45. We'll be starting right in between those areas. For those of you folks, once again, that are listening in to the SBT ECW Winter Series live stream brought to you by Liqui-Moly. .606, Dobson still maintaining that fourth place position with Bendetti in fifth, coming off of coming from the outside split, working right to left past the SBT start-finish line. Your leader is still Prado. He got a back marker in front of him. You can see Kevin with the flag out there. That means that the leader's encroaching and that you need to move out of the way. Or in other words, there's a race going on and you ain't in it. That's kind of what we like to say, but that's not nice. You got to be politically correct now. You know, everything got all political on us. Used to be able to get away with some stuff. Right? Exactly. Tim Cotter, that's my boy. All right, and once again, Prado, boat number 37, is your race leader out there. He's at the top right-hand side of the track. If you're trying to follow him, coming off a yellow buoy right now. And he is approaching Bendetti, who is in 5th place. So he's lapped up to 5th place so far. All right, so Prado with just over 50 seconds left on the clock. Looks like he's going to have to go another lap before we throw the white flag. Once again, Pro 1050 class, we need you down on the starting line, ready to go. When the last rider comes through, we're going to go ahead and fire you guys off so we can get you done before 4 o'clock. Once again, don't forget. Having fun? Myself. All right, and it looks like the white flag is out for Davey Prado. Less than a lap to go. Prado on the inside split, and it looks like, man, it could be too little too late here for Snyder. Snyder sponsored by Monster Energy and Snyder Built Construction, as well as Jet Trim and Jet Pilot. As your leaders get ready to come out of the splits. Again, Torrey with a back marker in front of him. Tries to work outside the pump wash. You see him working to the inside of that back marker right now. So Torrey Snyder, Davey Prado going at it. Prado with a 5th place finish, I believe, in Moto number 1. That's what I got here. So he's kind of playing the spoiler, going to make it up onto the podium. However, Slugger Junior, Slugger Light, if you will, Torrey Snyder took a first in the first moto. He's going to take a second in this moto. He's going to take the overall home with him. So congratulations, Torrey Snyder. In second place in this one, we're going to take the overall for the day. Once again, awards will be a half hour after the last race. The last race going to be the Pro-Am Ski GP. That race going to take off, going to fire off right around 4:35. As we get set to go here with this next one. Okay. Riders getting ready to fire up their engines down online right now as the last rider just getting ready to come through, and that is Dobson. All right, we got about 10 minutes to get this one done. So it is going to be tight, 8 minutes plus a lap as we get ready to fire them off. What's that? Hey, by the way, yeah, if you're coming off the water and it's after 4 o'clock, don't blow your boat out down at the ramp. You know, take it back up into the pits to blow it out, and we appreciate your cooperation on that. Once again, yeah, if you're going to blow out your boat after you come off the ramp after 4 o'clock, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't get us in trouble. Yeah, we definitely want to come back next year. Lions Club's a great place for us to have a great time. All right, once again, this is, I believe, the Pro-Am or TIF 1050, Pro-Am 1050 class. And we are on the clock here. Taking a look down here, see if we are at 3:52, and we got 7:45 left on the clock. I would say, yeah, I would say this is going to be tight. Tighter than that pass that Hunter Lawrence made on Tomac last weekend, man. Wow. Daytona Supercross tonight. Again, we invite everybody to come out to the watch party. That's going to be at the Barrel 239. Barrel 239 for the watch party tonight. 7 minutes left on the clock. Boy, we are close. I don't even know where the venue's at. Maybe it's down over here. Looks like a building. I don't know. They said it's somewhere on the lake here, though. But I guess they do weddings every Saturday and Sunday. Alrighty, once again, this is race number 11, final race before we go to a break, and then we'll come back after the break for the Pro Ski GP class. Yeah, well, you know, it's funny. It's like Brad Adams is your race leader out there out of Appleton, Tennessee, sponsored by One Up Storage. He is the current leader out there, and I'm taking a look here for second place. We'll give you second place in just a moment. I believe that might be Kylie. Yeah, it's Kylie Meyer, sponsored by Glidwell Racing. That is in second. I believe she is on the inside split. Adams took the outside split. And we'll go back a little bit further here. Once again, just trying to rush through to make sure that we get this done before 4 o'clock. And again, we'll be back about 4:35, 4:45, right around there. Just be listening for announcements, I should say. It looked like boat number 15 went down there. That's Kelly Neal. Kelly back up in the tray out of Piney Flats, Tennessee. But your race leader is Brad Adams. Glad to see the promoters all getting together out here. Your dad's doing pretty good out there, huh, Charlie? Glad to see the promoters getting together, racing each other's races. That's pretty cool stuff. Jax Rowe, I believe, is currently in the second place position, just in front of Kylie Meyer. Back in the fourth spot, I believe it's Austin Jones on boat number 316. Austin out of Buffalo, New York, sponsored by Hebler Sales and Service, as well as Greg's Auto Parts and 300 Motorsports. So just about 4 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock here. And we are going to get done just in the nick of time. Literally within 15 seconds to 20 seconds. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what. If I gave a most improved racer award, she would have got it last year. She could get it this year. It's just fast. Oh, yeah. Well, no. There's a reason you lean to one side or the other. All right. The Kylie Meyer fan club is in the house. Gotta like it right down here in front of announcing. Watch out, John Block. Don't hang yourself. Yeah. Yeah, she brought a nice little seat for me, and I didn't use it. I'm sorry, Cassandra. Grandpa's using it right now. Grandpa Block. Brad Adams is your race leader over here on the right-hand side of the track. And glad to see Brad out there in front. Once again, sponsored by One Up Storage, his storage unit company up in Appleton, Tennessee. And it looks like Brad really starting to extend that lead. I'm taking a look at him. There's Jax Rowe. Okay, I was looking for Jax Rowe right there. It looks like Jax actually got ahead of Brad Adams. That's Adams back in second. Kylie Meyer, I believe, in third. So, again, sorry about that. Sorry for the confusion there. So, Jax Rowe into the lead. Jax, again, out of Ooltewah, Tennessee. And Jax is sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment. And sometimes he's sponsored by my good friend Glenn Elliott from Killer Frog Racing up there in Tennessee, out of the Chattanooga area. Kelly Neal coming through the SBT start-finish line. Once again, just about 2 minutes to go here before we are done racing for a little while. All right, who wants to play Wedding Crasher? Yeah, get the freestyle guys out there. Right, exactly. All right, there's 995. That's Rowe, actually. And then here comes Adams. Kylie Meyer coming out of the inside split. Only about a minute 35 left to go here. Yeah, she is. Alrighty. Jax Rowe in the split right now. Boat number 995 headed toward the SBT start-finish line. And he'll get the white flag the next time around. So once again, Jax Rowe, your race leader. It looks like Kylie Meyer getting past a back marker there. So Kylie doing a great job in the third place position right now. White flag will be coming out next lap around. Once again, we'll come back about 4:35, 4:45. Make sure you're listening to, or you're in tune to what's happening up here and announcing. And we'll do the final race of the day, which is going to be the Pro-Am Ski GP class. Once again, the Pro-Am Ski GP class going to be final race of the day. And then we'll do the awards about 30 minutes after that. So awards should be right around 5:15, 5:30. Alrighty, once again, final race here before the break. We are under white flag racing conditions, and Jax Rowe from Ottawa, Tennessee, is your current race leader out there. Once again, Jack, sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment. And there comes Kylie Meyer. And I'm taking a look out there. We have a rider off the boat, and that was Jax Rowe that came off the boat. Kylie took advantage of it and ends up the winner. Wow. I turn around for a second, and I talk to the boys, and look what happens. Way to go, Kylie Meyer. Great job. Yeah, I hit it like this, but it stayed on.
So it'll stay on the last one.
All right, folks, just as a reminder, don't blow out your skis when you come back to the beach. Don't blow out your skis. Tell your rider not to blow out the skis right there in the ramp area. Thank you. We appreciate your cooperation, and we'll see you at 4:35.
All right, Ski GP boys, we're going to use our inside voices. Ski GP boys, let's get geared up. We have 5 minutes of quiet time, and then we can go warm up and get this last moto in. So, Ski GP boys, let's get geared up. And girl. And Ski GP girl. All right, Ski GP, let's get Ski GPs in the water. We are good to go. Ski GPs in the water. Let's get this last moto going. we need East Coast Watercross staff. We need scoring in place. Marshals in place. Ski GP boats in place. This is the fastest moto of the weekend. Fastest stand-ups in the world. Let's go. Get everyone down to the beach and watch this moto. And then we're going right into awards.
On a cinder block and a board. The 2x6. Yeah, right.
Same thing in Destin.
We did the strip mines.
Same thing in Destin, the sewer. We had a trail down getting out on the bluff, and he said he was good. There was like a little creek, not water. Everybody on the bluff said he was going to do that.
So he had to do
So
it.
hell, we built a trail. They jumped the creek. He never showed up. He was a he never lived that down.
No show evil.
His day in his life, he's still probably a no-show.
Right. All right, folks. Final race of the day, the Pro-Am Ski GP. Get ready to take off down online. Once again, down on that line, we got boat number 27. He was last week's champ in the GP class out of Brazil, sponsored by Casarini, Pro Watercraft, Jet Tribe, Mono Zaprania, and More My Wetsuits. That's Davey Prado. Boat number 51 finished 5th in the first moto. That's Davey Cabrera out of Miramar, Florida, and he's sponsored by Broward Motorsports, Tim Judge Racing, TMR, as well as Exotic Signs, Fast Power Sports, and Cabrera Motorsports. Boat number 98 is Eric Medlin, who took a 4th in Moto number 1 atop his Commander. He's out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. Boat number 114 out of Laconia, New Hampshire. That is Sean Dudek, and he is sponsored by Commander Industries, Jet Pilot, No Limits Metalworks, Hot Slag Company, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, and Moto Option. 169, who hole shotted earlier, ended up in second out of Delray Beach, Florida, sponsored by, I believe, Fast Power Sports, Isabella Parker. Chris Landis out of Delray Beach, sponsored by Mark Landis Racing, Boost Creative, Riva Racing, Map Tuner on Jet Trim. Rick Roy Products, Fast Power Sports. He'll be on boat number 201. 591 is Kyle Fabro. And Kyle out of out of LaBelle, Florida, sponsored by Likes Brothers Incorporated. And out of Mandeville, Louisiana, sponsored by Jet Tribe, IPD Graphics, Performance Jet Ski and Cycle. 595X is Charles Gunchard. Boat number 595 out of Franklin, New Hampshire. Riding atop a Commander, sponsored by No Limits Metalworks, Z-Force Racing. Slang Danger Racing Fuels is Kelly Wilcox. Boat number 730 out of Ellington, Connecticut. Sponsored by Commander, Duncan Racing, the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metalworks, Jet Pilot, Earthlight Technologies, Wetworks is Braden Seven. And that rounds out your field of GPs. Current time on deck, it is about 4:37, and we are all set to pop this one off. Be the final race of the day. I believe it's going to be 12 minutes plus a lap, so we actually upped the minutes here. Instead of going 10 minutes, since everybody had to wait around, we're giving them 2 extra minutes out there. Chris Landis was the winner of Moto number 1, sponsored by Mark Landis Racing. Isabella Parker took a 2nd in Moto number 1. Kyle Fabro, 591, took a 3rd in Moto number 1. Medlin had a good start and slid back to 4th on boat number 98. Another one for you to look out for. And Dave Cabrera had to settle for a 5th place in Moto number 1. So they're down there getting staged right now. We'll be back to racing here in just a couple of moments, folks. Thanks for coming out here to round number 3 of the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series. All right, folks, here we go. Final race of the day, 12 minutes plus a lap. Landis starting pole position on the inside. Isabella starting pole position.
Landis, or Medlin got the top again, but Landis has got the start.
All right, it looked like Isabella Parker, but it's going to be Cabrera with the hole shot. Isabella in second on the outside. Yeah, that's Landis on the outside. And I believe that's Medlin. Medlin followed him in second on the outside. It's Parker on the inside. So Landis and Isabella, followed by Medlin, 27. Prado all the way back in 5th place. Took a win yesterday, but all the way back in 5th place here in this one. So once again, your leaders onto the back section of the course. Chris Landis not wasting any time. Had to work for it in that first moto, but grabs the hole shot. Comes out with a hole shot here in moto number 2. Got Isabella Parker right behind him. Medlin right behind her. So those are your top 3 as they work onto the split right-hand side of the track as we view it. So look at Landis, already put a little distance between he and second place Parker. 51 Cabrera in the 4th place position. 27 Prado still in 5th as Prado works the inside split right now. That's Fabro behind Davy Prado out of Brazil. Okay, so Isabella Parker, lap time. She's got the fastest lap time so far. Isabella Parker, a 51.963. Eric Medlin with the second fastest lap time at 52.476. Cabrera with a 54.880. Prado with a 55.319. 7 with a 55. Yeah. Well, I was looking. I was just wondering. I didn't see Chris Landis on there. Chris Landis is your race leader, so I'm just wondering if... Is he there? Oh, okay. Yeah, Chris Landis actually with the fastest lap time of 50.968. So 50.968, fastest lap times, or fastest lap time we've seen today. Chris Landis tossing that down. Isabella Parker with a 53.208. That last time around. Once again, you're watching race number 12. This is the finale. This is the last race of round number 3. We'll be back for round number 4 tomorrow. So, again, if you like what you see out here today, phone a friend and come on back tomorrow. We're going to be doing it all over again. And we invite everybody to come back and have a good time with this. Again, tomorrow, round number 4, the finals of the SVT ECW Winter Nationals. Once again, don't forget the merch booth still open. We got T-shirts, sun shirts, zip-up hoodies. We've got the new Pro Watercross hats, new East Coast Watercross hats, navy blue T-shirts. We got stickers, koozies, bottle openers, all kinds of good stuff. Check it out up here at the Pro Watercross compound. Landis still your leader, coming up to the back of the pack as he works from that outside split, drops in bottom right-hand side of the track. And he is reeling in Dudek right now, 2:01. That is your race leader as he goes by the SBT start-finish line. I'm looking at Isabella Parker still in that second place position. I believe that was Wilcox that just got back on the gas on black 595, but Isabella Parker in second goes right around Wilcox. Medlin still in third. Prado has moved into fourth. Cabrera back to fifth. 591. Fabro in seventh place. Took a third in moto number 1. As again, the wind is not subsiding here. It's actually gotten a little rougher since we ran the second half with the first 11 races of the afternoon. For those of you who may be listening in at home, you're watching the final race of the day, the Pro-Am Ski GP. And again, while we have the opportunity, and there's still 7 minutes and 15 seconds left, plus a lap, we'd like to say a special thanks to not only SVT, but special thanks to our good friends from Liqua Molly, as well as Visit Central Florida, Beer Dart, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm photo, Aerial Flicks, who is getting all the drone footage for us out there. Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Heating and Cooling, or Handling Solutions, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Pro Rider Magazine, Commander Industries, Moto Option Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. All supporting the races this weekend. And there goes Chris Landis down the front straightaway. And you can see the gap between he and Isabella Parker right now. Isabella, boat number 169, just now dropping into the front straightaway on the bottom right-hand side of the track. So Chris with about a 10-second lead right now over Isabella Parker, who is running smooth out there like a hot knife through butter, that young lady. I see Prado still running in that fourth place position, and here comes Cabrera in fifth, boat number 51. In the sixth spot, I believe that's Braden Seven. Seven took a second in the last moto last weekend, and this is his first year as a entering the Pro-Am Ski GP class. Once again, under 6 minutes to go here in the final race of the day. Once again, under 6 minutes to go, final race of the day. Hope everybody's having a great Saturday afternoon. Current time on deck, it's about 16:47. That's 4:47 for all of you who weren't in the military. Once again, we're going to be doing it all again tomorrow. So we'd like to remind everybody, make sure that you come back out tomorrow. Know somebody else boat wants to race, likes to race, didn't know the race was here. Let him know that we're going to be racing tomorrow. I believe riders meeting going to be 8:30 in the morning from what I understand. So make sure you should show up to the riders meeting on time. Current time, again, we'll be doing the awards. Just taking a look down here, we're going to be doing the awards about 5:30. Once again, awards will be held at 5:30, right back here behind the Pro Watercross Tour compound. Isabella Parker in the attack position down the front straightaway. Still got 98, Medlin. Medlin not going anywhere. On boat number 98, so second and third place on the outside split right now. Meanwhile, Chris Landis is hasta la bye-bye. He is like me on Monday, checking out of this one. And there is 7 right there. And I'm looking for Landis. Okay, there's Landis, bottom right-hand side of the track. Now working his way down the front straightaway. That is your race leader. Landis looking good out there with under 4 to go. And he has really put a lot of distance between he and second place. You got two lappers in between him and 169, Isabella Parker, who is still in second place. Medlin in third. I'm looking for Prado. Prado still in fourth out of Brazil. And taking a look down here, Davey Prado at DNF in that first race. I talked to Davey after that first race because you don't see that kid break down too much. Broke down on the top right-hand side right at the entrance of the split section a little earlier today, and he said never had anything like it happen before, but he ended up losing his battery. That's right, the battery just went completely dead on him, and the engine would not refire. So 2:40 left on the clock. And Chris Landis with a commanding lead out there right now over Isabella Parker on 169. Medlin on 98, still in third. Once again, your race leader sponsored by Mark Landis Racing, Boost Creative, Riva Racing, Map Tuner Unlimited, Jet Trim, Rick Roy Racing Products, and Fast Power Sports. All helping Chris Landis out this weekend. And Prado slows down again. Not quite sure if they're having a battery issue. He said again he's on some borrowed property out here this weekend. Under two to go, plus a lap. Pro-Am Ski GP, final race of this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Special thanks to Mother Nature for kind of holding off, man. They said 60% chance of rain. But you got to remember, when they say 60% chance of rain, that there's a 40% chance of sunshine. And that's what we got today, folks. The glass is half full. 595, Wilcox stretching out that back as he works his way down the front straightaway. Just in front of, I believe, that's Sean Dudek on the 595 out there. Prado on boat number 27. Whoa! And how do you do that? Came over the front of the boat and ran over himself. Holy smokes. Boat number 51, Cabrera goes by. So I have never seen that before. Actually came over the front of the boat. Boat actually ran him over. It appears to be okay, but... So once again, the yellow flags are out. And I'm trying to see what boat number that was still. Obviously, it's floating sideways on us here. I believe that might have been 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was 7 that went down. Landis still your race leader on boat number 201. Yellow flags out. Time ticket away. Only 10 seconds. 9. Okay, looks like we're going to go again before that white flag comes out. So again, Landis will have at least 2 more laps. And a tough break there for 7, who took second in that last moto last weekend. By the way, probably use the
Yeah, I hope so.
I appreciate it. It's been sitting there all day. I felt that.
Oh, no. Everything's trial here, so.
Okay.
Yeah. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't.
Just go to plan B.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
We depend on you so much. All right, a white flag coming out for Landis. Landis, once again, sponsored by Mark Landis Racing, Riva Racing, and Fast Power Sports. And he has got a healthy lead right now over the rest of the pack. Great job there by Chris. Fabro coming through the SBT start-finish line. And once again, second place was Isabella Park. Now, here comes Isabella right now. So that is the gap between first and second place as Landis collected that white flag. And I believe he has got a half-lap lead over the rest of the pack. So Landis unstoppable last week and looking pretty unstoppable here this week. 7 with the get-off on that prior lap will collect the white flag and probably shaking out some butterflies right now. Prado off the pace a little bit, now grabs the white flag. And here comes your race leader, lapped all the way up to 4th place. Put your hands together for Chris Landis. Landis doing an amazing job. He lapped all the way up to 4th place. Great job there by Chris Landis. Here comes Fabro approaching the SBT start-finish line. And Isabella Parker still in 2nd place. I believe Eric Medlin still in 3rd place. Medlin and Privateer, and here comes Isabella Parker. Parker coming through in 2nd. And there's Medlin, boat number 98, rounding out your top 3. And 4th place was Prado, boat number 27. I believe Prado is working his way down the front straightaway now, just dropping into the front straightaway. Davey Prado, and looks like Landis win an extra lap. So congratulations, Prado, in that 4th spot. But it was the Chris Landis show here in the Pro-Am Ski GP. Once again, I'd like to say a very special thanks to all of the staff, all of the sponsors, the entire team that came out to be a part here of the 3rd round of the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series. like to say a special thanks to Beer Dart, Visit Central Florida, Liquid Molly, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm Photo, Aerial Flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Pro Rider Magazine, Commander Industries, Northern Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred, the Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. Thank you all so very much for your support here. Round number 3. Once again, Riders meeting tomorrow morning, I believe going to be at 8:30. Riders meeting at 8:30 tomorrow morning. And on behalf of the East Coast Watercross Winter Series, my name is Mike Young, saying so long, folks. Hopefully we'll see you tonight at the Supercross Watch Party. Awards going to be at 5:30 right here at the Pro Watercross compound. Once again, awards will be at 5:30 here at the Pro Watercross Tour compound. Don't forget to grab yourself some merch on the way out. My name is Mike Young, and we'll see you in the pits.